Roll call. How about we just go down the line, starting with Joe. Go down the line, say your name, and we will establish quorum.
Joe Ellie, present.
Richard Keys, present.
Gene Case, present.
Erica Jacobson, present.
Frank Visconti, present.
Patrick Heffernan, present.
Excellent. And Vanessa is not here. She is out of town. So I will call the meeting to order. It is 7:02 p.m. And our first order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from the May 7th meeting, which was our last group meeting here. Any edits, questions?
Motion to approve.
I will entertain that. Someone wants a second?
Second.
Who can vote?
Joe, Jean, Richard, and me.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes as written?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty, and then public comment. To receive oral communications from members of the public may address the Finance Committee for up to 3 minutes. The Finance Committee will not engage in discussion on topics raised during public comment, but may choose to add the topic to a future agenda. This agenda segment will be limited to 15 minutes. Seeing no members of the public here, we do not have a public comment, period. Also, as I typically chair, usually chair any written or email communications received since the last meeting. It's been very quiet. We have no communications from any members of the public written directly to the Finance Committee.
Wow, taking the summer off.
So nothing to share there. So in terms of old business, or actually new business this year, our committee members were reappointed and have been sworn in for their 3-year terms, and want to discuss who we want to have for Finance Committee leadership and representatives to the DCC. So these are ones that we decide on as a group. Is anyone interested in being chair?
Are you interested in continuing this chair? I will make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
That was a rough year, but
Yes, but
yes,
you're here.
I'm here.
Yes.
I am here.
We promise to keep him away from you.
Oh, you can't do that.
No,
Oh, you never know.
we're all good, but and I am open if others are interested. I am always open to a change. If anybody's interested, I think that's one of the things about this committee is that we are together. We're meant to be citizens to be overseeing, so.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm just not here enough. You know, I'm only here for really 6 months. I don't have any kids in the school district, and, you know, Bob kind of hoodwinked me into being on the committee, you and Bob, to take Bob's place. I mean, I've enjoyed it, and, you know, I like to add my 2 cents, but other than being a representative from the island, I don't see myself as a chairperson adding any additional value.
So, but you are the vice chair.
Yes.
I would gladly stay and
Or
then,
whatever we call it.
Yes.
Yes.
right, and if I need to substitute at some time, I would be more than happy to do that.
Everybody okay with that?
We're all okay.
We're all
Yep.
okay with that? All right, we'll
Okay.
keep with it. All right,
Okay.
I don't know if we need to formalize.
That's unanimous. Quick vote before somebody changes their mind.
All right. DCC, last year it was Patrick and Richard, and I briefly stepped in for a guest appearance on the alternative assessment. But are you guys interested in continuing?
Sure.
Yes.
Good.
Sure.
Excellent. All right, all good. Is everybody agreed?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, all right. All right. I'm pretty sure everybody's on the DCC distro list anyways, so you
Right.
should know when the next committee meetings are, the next meeting is.
Should just send it out.
Yeah.
Great,
Yep.
awesome. And aligned to that, there's a chance that we might, because after the May 23rd meeting where we did the alternative assessment, the homework assignment for each town was to have your finance committee and your board of selectmen get together and talk about how, if you want to try to go through with an alternative assessment. We have not had that meeting yet. Alicia is out of town, but I think that we're going to be added to a select board agenda. So if we do that, it may, depending on what business we have in front of us, it may be in lieu of our October meeting. So we'll coordinate that.
Right.
But that's one thing that I know that at the, I think Brian's gonna have them talk at the next DCC, that it would be the October meeting that they'd ask everybody, each of the towns to come back with their kind of consensus from the town of what they wanna do with that.
DCC meeting on the 19th of
Okay.
September.
Great.
So the next meeting is 10/1.
That's what we think, but it might change.
If that's the date, I am out of town.
Okay. Good to know. And our November meeting is moved to not coincide with Election Day. So, I think that's it. Tracy,
Yes.
Town Administrator's Report, what do we got? What's going on?
So most of the summer, we spend closing the books. Our fiscal year ends June 30th. And then there's a series of accounting tasks that we have to take care of, including our annual audit, with an eye towards the end of September, closing, submitting what's called our Schedule A, which is basically the result of our annual operations that goes to the Department of Revenue, our end of the year reports, which results in the certification of free cash, and then again our audit. So hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have everything closed, reconciled, and sent off to the Department of Revenue.
Excellent.
Who's auditing now? What's the firm?
Rosselli and Clark,
Okay,
I
okay.
think they're Topsfield, maybe? I
Yeah.
believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
Trace, did the town explore that possibility of the additional revenue from that parking on the island? You know, where the Plum Island Grill used to be, and now those cars are now actually morphed by the bridge. Remember last year, we kind of brought it up?
So we have explored that in the past. We had a proposal, I think the company was Parkeon, they may be the same ones that do the Newburyport, the kiosks that you see in the city. And they had given us some projections about what we could expect to bring in, but it wasn't well received when we had our meeting with the public. The idea was that those people who had a parking sticker, residents, could park anywhere, where,
Yeah.
you know, and wouldn't have to pay. But there was a concern that, you know, the spots would be taken up by out-of-town people, and they're always open if you drive by, so, I don't know. We would still maintain the center as
Is resident.
resident parking only, but, yeah, did not get green lighted.
Okay.
And so if we're talking about the island, how have, the new bathrooms are very nice and they seem to be well maintained. Knock on,
They're unbelievable.
excellent. Been,
Do we have someone down there now in the summer or not?
What do you mean down there?
Well, we used to have a attendant of some sort.
So we have a cleaning company that's there every day, and we also have a DPW personnel that go through and make sure there's no damage or things that
Okay,
need
but
to
we
be
don't have an
addressed.
attendant like we, remember we instituted one about 3 or 4 years ago?
We had one in the center when we were having all the problems
Yeah.
with the porta potties, people were dumping
Yeah, right.
garbage. And so,
That's,
yeah, they're gone.
that's nice.
Yeah. Even some of the people that didn't support it have come in
Yeah.
and made comments to the select board's office
That's
saying,
nice.
And use them.
yeah. Yeah.
Sneak in there.
Yes,
What about Jeans there? Is that
no idea,
private?
It's privately
No
owned.
s- no sense
Privately
in what's
owned.
going on there?
no idea.
Privately owned.
It was up for sale at one point, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they transferred ownership or not.
is that still part of the estate, original, or not?
No.
The owner
It's
knows?
No.
privately owned now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was a bust this summer. I mean, last summer you had, a couple of weekends where they opened, and then they had ices a couple of weekends, and this year was just like the Plum Island Kitchen was,
Yeah.
one down by me,
Yep.
nothing. And actually, 3 days ago, there were workers there. Doors are open and they're painting the outside. The for sale sign is gone as of last weekend.
Oh, great. You know, parking has always been a challenge.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So,
Is that just beyond you?
Before.
Just before?
Any issues we should be aware of with anything that was approved at town meeting? I know that there were some capital costs that the town voted for at town meeting, regarding the NES roof,
done
done,
for this year. Not
not complete,
completed.
but the
Plan
portion,
is to next spring to have the final
final,
component after we do the HVAC.
great.
Yep.
And the library roof, that was the.
Went out to bid, came in under budget, so they should be, contracts are in the works right now.
Great. And,
New Braille parking lot's done.
yep, parking lot's done.
Fire station floor is starting next week.
Excellent.
We had to go out to bid twice. The first ones came in way over budget. So we rebid it and one of them came in under budget, so.
Okay.
Waiting for a couple of Boy Scouts around. Boy Scouts with shins.
Yeah, well, maybe, no. No, we've been certified.
Didn't we have somebody volunteer to do that?
Would've been nice, but,
Eric of the schoolhouse. I think it was.
The schoolhouse roof was the last one.
Schoolhouse roof was in the hands of the historical commission to make a decision on what material we had provided them with, what we thought they should use, and they took most of the summer to kind of decide, but they did come back around to using the materials that we thought were the best options, so
Okay,
that will be moving forward soon.
all right.
I also know the school's gonna be open for sales and trails over the next, I forget which
I
week.
think so, yes.
One of the next 3
They've had it
weekends.
open.
Yeah.
On Sundays, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have certain days.
Yeah.
Excellent. And lease here is all set?
Lease here is all set. We have options for up to 9 years.
Okay.
So
It
we're,
was 9 years ago. 9 years
Up to.
ago, it was 9 years ago this week that there was a vote to do the design phase of the public safety complex,
Yeah.
which didn't pass
no,
9 years ago. It would have been, I believe the number on that was like 12-3.
That's
I
right.
remember. I think I have the plans in my office.
Yes.
Yes, that popped up. There's a YouTube video of all of us back at the old,
Library, right?
no, that one was actually, there was an info session. There was a vote.
Oh, at the town hall.
Yep, at the town hall. to talk about that.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
that was 9 years ago. So,
This is impossible.
here we are. Anything in front of us for new business that we should be anticipating?
Just the reserve fund transfer that I had
Yes.
forwarded to you.
Yep, do you have a paper on that?
I do.
All right. Mrs. Whittier is the Whittier School Assessment. When we did the budgeting for FY '25, the number we thought based on the number of students, we thought our appropriation was on the mark. We were short $8,215, so we need to do a reserve fund transfer for the,
Yeah, timing is always a little bit of a challenge with Whittier because they don't usually have their actual school committee vote until either days before our town meeting or sometimes after our town meeting. So we usually estimate, but this year we were a little short.
But that's not a head count issue, that's like a half a student.
That's like
Right.
half a student,
Yeah.
right? I just tried to figure out what their percentage increase would be,
Oh,
and, you know,
so that's where the estimate, it wasn't a head count estimate, it
Yeah.
was a cost estimate.
right.
So move.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. So 6. 0. That's Tracy.
Thank you.
And that is all I had.
Madam Chair, the joint meeting with the select board, it would have to be in advance of the October 19th DCC meeting?
I think so. Or I think, yeah, I'm not sure what date the DCC meeting is for.
Here, I'll look it up.
Okay, if you have the,
On the next,
October 24th,
okay,
tentative October 24th.
great, thank you, Rich.
and also, I know that there's for the DCC, I know they like to rotate the meetings around. I believe that September's is in Triton, but then we try to move them to each of the communities.
Sure.
So there's some point in time that it's gonna be here, but I think Alicia would probably have already let David know.
David,
They put the location, so they said Newbury.
For October?
Tentative For
For
October.
October?
Okay.
Okay,
It's gonna be here October 24th.
all right.
One in September's at Triton.
Okay, that's what I thought.
thank you.
Any other issues, things in front of the committee? Citizens' concerns you may have heard out in the valley?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Adjourned at 7:20.